All right, hello everyone. Welcome after the longest hiatus ever to the eighth episode, I think, of MCL. We're going to write some code in a second, but I'm going to quickly say some things. You can just skip forward like to 30 to 60 seconds to skip that. But basically, this is the best performing series I've ever done. Now, of course, most of my videos are privated, so you don't know, but basically, I used to do a bunch of different, I basically tried everything. And this video with like the first episode with like 8K views and 99.3% like to dislike ratio is pretty fucking good. And I'm very excited that you guys like it. However, while I was doing this, I was working on my thesis, which was also on the Java virtual machine. And the thesis is right there behind me in the shelf now because it's done. I'm done with my university and I'm working full time in the telemedicine software development. So that's why I wasn't uploading anything. Basically, I just didn't have any energy. Yeah. So let's give that a try again. I'm going to try to continue this series now. A few things have changed. I'm now using Zed, which is a different editor, but Vim keybinds, so it shouldn't make a difference. And I think the viewing experience is about the same. If it's too bright, let me know and I'll fix it. It is 8:41 a.m. and I have to work in a bit, but I think we can squeeze in a little bit of coding work before that. That isn't work. Okay, so last time, if I remember correctly, we wanted to add a logging library. So this is not the most exciting thing ever, but I think we can do it. Now, my sort of favorite logging library is like logging setup is nvlogger for this sort of thing. So we'll just add nvlogger. I think it's like that. Yes. And the way nvlogger works is it just reads from the environment what log level you want, and then it lets you just do that. So we'll make a builder, not that one, builder, and we'll set the log level. So I think the filter level, yeah, filter level. We'll just set that to the max. So level filter max. And then we'll just in it. And so all this is going to do is just start. Well, it's going to panic if it doesn't understand something, but we also need to add the log crate. But basically, what this does is it reads the environment, sets up a logger for us. So now we can use stuff like debug, info. We just show those two really quick. So for example, we can say info hello world. Okay, and what that's going to do is, oh, sorry, that's a macro. We run it without any arguments, so it doesn't complain. Okay, so now it says like the time, the log level, and what module. Not entirely sure if we want that because that's a lot of output we don't need. This is not a service, it's not going to run in the background. So how about we adjust the format to be a little bit different? Is this how you do that? Yes, that's how you do that. Okay, so okay, that's a good suggestion, I guess. It's missing a little bit of this, but other than that, it seems to be, that's not how that works. Okay. So the format function probably has documentation. It does. Okay, wonderful. So buff record and then this. Okay, let's just take that and slam that in here. I think the way this works is that it just basically calls this, and we can have stuff like the log level right here. So I want to print the log level and then one of these guys and then the actual message. And I think that's going to be beautiful. So let's see. So record dot level, and I think that should be it. So let's try that out. That's much better. So it just prints like that thing and then this. Now you might have noticed that I get a bunch of auto suggestions. That's GitHub Copilot. I'm currently trying out how shit it is. Big non-proponent of AI, but you know, you got to use the tools that are provided to you to stay competitive. So, you know, if it improves my life even by just writing trivial test cases or writing a doc comment that I don't care to write myself, I might as well use it, right? So I'm not going to write large portions of any programs with it, but if it gives me a good suggestion, I'll use it. And I was inspired to do this by Andreas Kling, which is sort of my biggest inspiration, and I've watched him for about 5 years or 4 years or something, and binge watched all his OS development videos. And very, very cool guy. He's the guy who made Serenity OS, and who's currently working on this it's called Ladybird browser. Also very cool. He makes very cool videos. Check him out. All right. So black coffee. I'm back, baby. So I'm saying this because I'm about to use AI. Okay. Now you might not enjoy that. Okay, but if you don't enjoy that, just stick with me for a second, because we're just going to do a little select this line and tell it to colorize log levels. And let's see if it does it correctly. Now, all I want to do is basically add the ASCII codes, the ANSI codes for color in front and after the words, and then just insert that. And that's exactly what it did. So I could have done this myself. Let's format that, but it did an okay job, right? So these are the ANSI escape codes for like this is the escape, and then you have the color, and then you have M to finalize it, and then you have 0M to reset it. It's very simple. I would have to look it up to do it though. So, but I can tell by looking at it that it's correct for my use case and that I don't really care. So now it's green, and that's all I wanted. Now, okay, and so now we need to replace all our silly little print line statements with macros, macro calls. So this is going to be log error. There's also going to be log error. Oh, actually, well, we could use the AI thing here too, but I still enjoy writing code. So let's not do that. And I think that's good for here. Now, if I give it a file that doesn't exist, no such file directory. Okay, it does not actually print that correctly yet. No such file directory is probably a thing that we, yeah, okay, I think we just return that from here. So this is a pattern that I've started to not like. So let's wrap this if we care. So this is gonna be run. What the fuck happened? Okay, it's a run, and then we're gonna do this. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. So basically, we just wrap the thing, print the error, and then fuck off. And that's beautiful. So what if we also pretty print it? Is that wild? Is that gonna work? I don't know. I don't know. Yes. But that's not giving us any more info. That sucks. All right. Thought that might give us some info. But basically, now we've just wrapped this whole thing in a function so that we can see the error and output it correctly. Okay, and then of course there's other logging frameworks that allow you to output to a file, to a logging service like log4rs, I think it's called. I don't know. Log4r, whatever. There's like logging services that it can print to, like the system log, like the journal or something. So there's a bunch of different ones, but we're going to use this, and we're also going to print this to be a maximum width of, how many characters is this? 20 characters. Okay, so we're going to print this to 20 characters, and that should cause it to align when we do two prints that are a different length. Sure, let's do that. Doesn't matter. I'm just a hello world here. So, okay, that's too much. How about 10? It's not enough. That's 15, I think. It's like, I basically just want this to align it. Oh, because these are different characters. Alarm went off. These are escape characters that they count as one. So one, and then, okay, so it's gonna be like 19 or 18. Just want to make this pretty. It's too many. 16 maybe. I can't be bothered to figure this out, so I'm just going to Oh, it's gonna be 14, right? What the fuck? Stop that. All right. Yeah, that looks good. So now these are padded to the maximum, which is errors at maximum length. So yeah. Okay. Now, let's add logging to the rest, and then let's actually do some real code. So this is a debug log. Debug log. I'll just do these really quick, and then I'll be back. Oh, okay, they're all changed. That should look good. Now, we should be seeing, like, okay, so the other thing that I've noticed is that if I do compile exec, I don't actually get, oh, well, now it works. Okay, so that's wonderful. Okay, so if we do this, we pipe it into say less, and then we go, here you see that there is, oh, we're still dumping these two standard out. That's not fun. Is that in the compiler potential? Okay, result. Okay. Oh, that might be in main. That might be in main. Do we print anywhere? Good question. Don't know where that is. We'll find it eventually. Okay, so I think this about is everything that we needed to add in terms of logging. Now, let's see what else we need to do. I think we've got working programs now, right? Yeah, we've done abstract instructions last time. So let's see. I think that about sums it up for this one. Let me commit this and see what we can do here. With the commit message, what did we change? Did we change that? Yeah, let's do a little cargo update. Why not? And then let's commit. So I'm not gonna do these right now. I'm not gonna do, well, okay, so with the cargo.tml we do need. So this is gonna be no. Let's do it again. So let's just do them all in one go. It's not really clean, but updating all the dependencies and doing this is not really clean. But I think that's gonna be fine. What? Why is it doing that? That's fine. Okay. So implement, well, add logging via env logger. Okay, I think that about sums it up. And of course, we are behind. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I've just done a little bit of a rebase. And now let's make sure it still compiles. Well, not release. All right, that looks good. Now, as for what we need to do next time, I don't know. I think we'll figure that out next time when we get there. We do need to do this. And there I've seen some code that is a little bit fishy. Specifically, the fishy code I've seen is in the interpreter, this. So I remember this is specifically something that I've also had to do in my Java virtual machine. And the problem with this is that you basically get, these pattern matchings are not free. And it's kind of unnecessary to do them if it's kind of a runtime check. We don't want to do runtime checks as much as we can kind of avoid them. So what I would like to do is I would like to basically turn all of these into assertions that get compiled away, so we don't actually care, and then add a validation step. I think that would be nice because it would be cool to sort of, it's kind of, I don't know if it's possible, right? But we have sort of like a function call syntax by having like a, like the, I don't know, add 1 2 is gonna be 1 2 add, or 2 1 add, I think is the correct order. But basically, we have some sort of syntax. So if we could go back through all the arguments, basically. Like, so we find a function, okay, we go back and we figure out how many things that thing wants, and then we check for those and we check their type. We then end up with a program that's validated, and at that point we should be able to just assume that these are integers. So we could basically turn this into a let value integer a is a, and let value integer b is b, and then we don't need any of this, and we don't have these things. And not only does it make the code cleaner, it also makes it so we don't have to ever worry about that performance cost of that branching, because we really, really, really do not want branching in a tight loop. Now, I've talked about before that we wanted to maybe add a JIT compiler. Problem with that is that JIT compiling is kind of hard to get right, because you don't want to be paying for the cost of JIT compiling when it's faster to just do the thing, right? So for example, this is probably faster to do than to compile the instruction and then run it, right? Depending. Now, this, of course, but if we go back to this, compiling this to instructions might be faster. However, both cases we're paying for the cost of these two branches, which may cause us to mispredict which branch we're going to go into. So the processor does prediction on each sort of branching statement. It does a prediction. It goes like, oh, we're likely to run into this or that branch, and then it pre-runs that branch. Now, modern processors might pre-run multiple branches. I don't know. I don't think so. But basically, it's a performance cost that we don't want, because if we miss that branch, if we don't hit the branch, basically, we're going to run into the processor having to do the whole work again. So it did a bunch of work, and then it did that again. So that's not very nice. And I think it would be totally smart to get rid of these branches by doing stuff like that. Here's another one. Also, this pattern will always match, because God knows, but the compiler tells me it's always matched, so we can already get rid of this. I think improvements like this are what we're going to do next time, because realistically, we don't need them, and we should be doing a validation step. This as well, like stack empty. We will have to check for this, I think, but for a few things, I mean, all these stack things, we could validate them because we don't modify the code, right? So as long as we don't modify the code, we can just validate these things. So I think that's going to be fun. Anyways, I'll do that next time. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. And if you haven't watched all the other videos, go back and watch all the other videos. They're very cool and very epic. All right, see you next time.